All right, so we had a huge weekend with BlizzCon going on. They just announced the next 3 expansions and part of the World Souls saga. And I've not yet watched, well, I've kept up with like the information and stuff that's going to be added into the next expansion. I've not yet watched the War Within cinematic trailer. So I want to do that live, just have my reaction, talk about it. And then I also want to just talk about a couple of the changes that are coming with the next expansion and how there's some good stuff with it. So we'll go ahead and watch this live, get my live reaction, and then we'll go from there. I'm excited to see Anduin's sexy glow up too.
You're here to tell me we don't get to hide. Is that it?
You needed time. We stayed away. But time by itself heals nothing.
You didn't just come here for me. It's the visions. You've seen them.
I suspect many have lately. Something, someone, is calling out from the heart of the world. Like a voice from a dream. Something dark is coming, Anduin. The world needs your light again. My son.
I am not that person anymore! I have no light. Not after what I've seen. Not after what I've done.
You are not your past, Anduin. I trust you.
Hear me.
They're getting worse. Look, whatever's coming, I'll stand with you. Of course I will. But we were drawn here by the voice. Who is it, Thrall? Who's calling out to us?
I'm not sure yet. But that sword was aimed at someone.
What sword? Okay, let's talk about it. I'm probably gonna have some unpopular opinions on this. But anyway, let me start off with the positive. First of all, visually, like, oh my god, that looked fucking amazing. Like, seriously. I wish that they would do like another World of Warcraft movie or like a series or something and use like that kind of visual style and just tell the story of World of Warcraft, because oh my god, it looked fucking amazing. And I hope like in-game cutscenes look like that, but I doubt they will. But anyway, it looked amazing. So let me just go ahead and let me start on what I think about it. And like I said, it's not going to be all that positive, I don't think. But let me preface it by saying this, okay? So I missed out on a lot of the story. I stopped playing at the end of Mists of Pandaria, so I missed out on a lot of the story between there and to Shadowlands. I started playing at the very end of Shadowlands, so I got a little bit of of like what else was going on. My complete understanding of Anduin is he's been a little bitch basically his entire life, at least all the way to Mists. As far as my recollection, he's nothing. And when I say like he's a little bitch, I mean he's a little bitch. Like he's nothing compared to his father Varian. His father was a monster. Dude was ruthless. Just Varian was the shit. Okay, and I'm saying that as a Horde player. Okay, I am a diehard Horde player. I think I may have had like one Alliance character, but I've never leveled an Alliance character even close to max level. I've always been Horde. Okay, but even from the Horde's perspective, Varian, I respected, because that dude gave he gave nothing, dude. He gave nothing and took everything. Like he was a badass, a complete and utter badass. Anduin being his son is just a little sissy bitch compared to him. So that's my overall view of Anduin. I know he was like influenced by the jailer. He was like possessed or something in Shadowlands, basically made to kill people and do things like that. And that's what he spent like that's what he spent DragonFlight doing, was like wandering and trying to reclaim his mental state, I guess. With Chris Metzen being back, I'm hoping that now that he's done this in the mall and stuff, that he actually is like he's much more of a man. Like he's, that's what I'm hoping it turned him into. I'm hoping it turned him into more of like someone like his father. So he's going to be more of a badass. If not, then I mean, like the crying and stuff, like, yeah, it's just a normal, like, it's just Anduin. He's being a little bitch, and it's kind of annoying. And let me just say, like I've gotten that whole vibe as while playing DragonFlight. Like nothing is really, everything feels really toned down and soft. Like even the villains that we've fought, like none of them actually, like you don't see a whole lot of actual like badassery anymore. I can't think of a single WoW cinematic where I've been like, bro, like, yes, we're back. Like we're back to the hardcore. Like the closest thing that they had was the recent cutscene with Feeric, who was burning alive the green DragonFlight guy. And I was like, yes, finally a villain that is like, that's finally snapping the fuck off again, and then he was stopped and they left him alive, and then it just cut away. So it's just been really disappointing seeing that like there's no actual, like, I don't know what to call it. I really don't know what to call it. It's just like, it's just soft. It's a lot of like really somber cutscenes and just not, it's just not gripping. There's really no action. The action that is there is really toned down. It's just weird. It doesn't feel like Warcraft to me, at least not the one that I remember. So I haven't really been completely invested in the DragonFlight story just because of that, just because it's so soft and toned down. But anyway, so back to the cutscene. Maybe Anduin's changed a little bit. Hopefully he's kind of hardened up and is going to be more like his father in the War Within. And then let me say, I said earlier that I was a huge, I'm diehard Horde. Okay. I hate Thrall. I hate him, and that's what kind of makes me question like what the direction is going as well, just because Thrall was always, well, he wasn't all okay. So Thrall, like I liked Thrall back in classic BC Wrath. And even to the point where he put Garrosh in charge. I thought Thrall was a great war chief and a good, pretty good member of the Horde. Like he was one who he didn't want to fight. Like he did want peace, but at the same time, it was like, okay, you're pushing, so we're going to push back. Like he wasn't afraid to go to war, even though, he didn't want to. And of course you have Anduin, who's just been a little bitch and always wanted to not fight. So it's like now we have Thrall, who doesn't want to fight, and we have Anduin, who doesn't want to fight. And it's like, great. Now we have the two bitch leaders that are taking over the Warcraft universe. So it's just going to be a bunch of like, we don't want to fight anybody. You know, we just want to resolve everything so peacefully and quiet. And it's just annoying. And that's what I don't like about it. But anyway, so I don't like Thrall. Garrosh is the true war chief. He should have, you know, Thrall fucking went against the Mak'gora, killed Garrosh by using magic, and it's just, you know, really bad. I don't like him. I hate him. I absolutely hate him. So that's just kind of the overall feel. Hopefully it doesn't go in that direction, but I feel like, you know, the War Within is going to kind of lead in that direction. Maybe not, like I said, with Chris Messam being back. But we'll see. That's just my fear as far as what's going on. I'll wait for more trailers and more cinematics and stuff to come out. But anyway, yeah, I hope the War Within doesn't turn into a little bitch fest or whatever. But yeah. So let's talk about just a couple of the new updates really quick, and then we'll cut off. So good stuff coming to the new expansion. I want to touch on just a couple things here, like the Warbands preview, account-wide everything. This is a great change. Should have been done in DragonFlight, but I'm glad they're going to at least add it into the next expansion. Banks, items, cosmetics. I like the item aspect of it. Where is it? It's down here. Okay, so reputation should have been on the rest, maybe starting with DragonFlight. I think they should do that reputation all the way back. I feel like that shouldn't be too difficult to do. So I don't exactly know why they're going to refrain from doing it. But regardless, reputation, transmogs, the armor is now agnostic, which is awesome. Means you can just pretty much dress however you want, which is how it should have been. Flight pass, achievements, and the delves. Everything is account bound. Looks great. I like the item aspect. I wish they would do it with crests as well. I don't see any mention of that, but hopefully they'll change that. I'll touch on the delve system really quick. I think it's really cool. It's going to be like a single player-ish or a small group type of thing. You can do it solo if you want. I think it's a really good change. It'll be something that's a little bit more, just something else to do. Personally, I don't think I'll do it too much, honestly, just because I'm huge into the group content. So unless the rewards are something really juicy, I'm not going to do it or bother with it. But I think it's a nice change, and it's something to help keep some players, the more casual players, you know, kind of entwined in the game system and stuff. Last thing I want to touch on is the hero talents. I think this is a cool change. I like the idea of it. And I feel like they're going to probably try to do this more with like the next coming expansions. They're just going to change the hero talents. I feel like that's what it's going to kind of boil down to for the new content, just to like make everything refreshed. Personally, I think they should minimize the current talent system just because there's so much of a bloat of talents. But you know, maybe that's what they're kind of, like I said, that's what I think they're kind of doing with this. So even when you level up, I think, I don't exactly know how this is going to, oh yeah, it's right here. Okay. So 10 talent points will be earned for each level 71 through 80. So your original talent point system is not, they don't have a picture of it here, is not going to change. So the only thing that you're going to be changing when you're leveling and going through the War Within is going to be the hero talent trees. And I think that's a really good change. I really do, just because there's so much bloat. They need to cut down the talent trees, in my opinion, because there's just too much stuff to keep track of. It's too complicated. There's too many buttons. There's too much button bloat, and there's too much buff and proc bloat as well. Makes it really frustrating. So I think this is a good step in the right direction as well. Plus, some of the names sound good. Obviously, I play as a Death Knight, Rider of the Apocalypse. I'm not even going to try to say that, and the Deathbringer. Sounds cool. So far, I mean, it looks pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes, as long as it doesn't, you know, add any more or additional buttons and stuff like that. It's just, like I said, it's a lot to keep track of. Overall, I think it's a really cool idea. I like the idea of going underground, the new zones. I saw the pictures, the videos. That looks pretty cool. And then, of course, the next two, the Midnight expansion goes back to Azeroth, which is a really cool thing. I like that. I think we should go back to Azeroth in general. I've wanted to. Just because it's such an awesome area. And then the Last Titans. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I liked it. BlizzCon looked good. New good changes coming. Oh, the new Earth and Allied race as well. Because I forgot to mention about that. It's kind of a bad picture. But anyway, yeah, we're basically getting dwarves for account for both Horde and Alliance. I think that's pretty cool. Of all the Alliance characters, none of them have really interested me other than like if I was going to play Alliance, it would either be a human or a dwarf. And I think that the dwarf trumps them. I think dwarves are just badass in my opinion. So that's what I would have done anyway. So I'm kind of glad about that. Might create one. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, good choice as far as like a class. nothing too crazy. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the that's my reaction, and that's my thoughts on the next expansion. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like button, show some support. And if you like WoW content, guides, I do occasionally talk about some stuff like this too. Go ahead and subscribe. Check out other videos on my channel. And with the new raid coming out next week, the new raid, going to take down Freeric. I'll have videos going up every week that the LFR wings are released, and just as far as like the raid guides. So check it out. Check the channel out. All right. See you in the next one.